Answer one question honestly. Is your money working for you, or are you still working for money? That one answer decides which of 4 tiers you stand on, and which tier is quietly deciding the rest of your life. Picture 2 people, same age, same salary, same city, same start. 10 years pass. One of them still trades every hour for a paycheck. The other wakes up, and the money keeps moving without them. One learned to own. The other only learned to obey the clock. They earned the same money. They simply did very different things with the hours around it. The gap was never IQ. It was never luck. It was never some secret only the rich are allowed to read. It was which tier they stood on and whether they ever knew it existed. And here is the strange part. Neither of them felt the gap forming. It happened one quiet decision at a time. Most people never even ask the question. They are too busy surviving to look up and check the map. Hear me clearly. This is not a motivational video. Motivation fades by morning. What you are about to see does not fade. Once you know your tier, you cannot unsee it. This is a positioning map. A way to find the exact spot where you are standing right now. By the end, I will show you the one tier where 99% of people stay trapped for life, and how to step out of it in 24 hours. But before you climb anything, you need to know who drew this map, and why he refused to lie about it. Most wealth advice comes from people selling you a dream. Machiavelli sold nothing. He did not teach you how the world should be. He described how it actually is. He looked straight at power, at money, at people, and he refused to flinch. For 500 years, they branded him the patron saint of manipulation. They were reading him wrong. He was ruthless about exactly one thing. He refused to lie to himself. And that single refusal is the first financial skill almost no one has. Self-deception is expensive. It is the most expensive habit a human being can own. Every bad money decision begins with a comfortable lie. I will start next month. This is only temporary. I have earned this one. Strip the lies away, and the math gets simple again. Painful but simple. He did not believe in saviors. He believed in preparation. Luck is real, but luck rewards the prepared and ignores everyone else. He divided every outcome in life into 2 forces. Virtue, your skill, your initiative, your nerve to move before you feel ready. Fortuna, luck, timing, the circumstances you were handed. His claim was simple and brutal. Fortuna controls about half of what happens to you. The other half belongs to virtue. The poor hand the whole thing to Fortuna. They wait. They hope. They pray for the timing to be kind. The rich do the opposite. They obsess over the half they can control, and they build for it long before the moment comes. The poor pray for luck. The rich build the system so when luck finally arrives, they are already standing there to catch it. The real question then is not whether you are smart enough. It is whether you are honest enough to admit which of 4 types you have quietly become. Stop. For the next 90 seconds, be honest. Not impressed with yourself. Honest. This next part is not a list. It is a mirror. Find your own face in it. You cannot fix a problem you have misnamed. Name your tier correctly, or waste years on the wrong cure. Because everything after this follows 4 tiers. Choose the wrong one, and every solution lands on the wrong door. Tier 1, the asleep. The signs are comfort and stillness. The stable job, the quiet routine, the someday that never comes. Comfort has lulled the ambition to sleep. Their hidden fear is leaving the safe zone. Their one job is to learn. Tier 2, the hamster. Busy from morning to night, yet the bank balance never moves. They have confused motion with progress. Their hidden fear is choosing the wrong direction. Their one job is to build. Tier 3, the builder. They have started. They are paying the real price of progress, and the doubt around them is loud. Their hidden fear is being seen and judged. Their one job is to own and then multiply. Tier 4, the owner. They hold assets that produce cash flow. The game has changed from earning to keeping. Their hidden fear is losing what they built. Their one job is to protect. 4 tiers, and each one has exactly one barrier. 1. Hold your number in your head. We start at the very bottom because that is where almost every story begins. Fear never screams at the asleep. It whispers. It leans in and says, just stay stable. You will figure it out next year. That is the trap. The coziest cage is the one you walk into on your own, and no one locks it. You guard it yourself. Comfort is addictive precisely because nothing hurts. No alarm, no deadline, no pain to force a single move. And a life with no pain can quietly become a life with no progress. The most dangerous trap does not feel like a trap. It feels like a reward, a safe salary, a title, a routine that asks nothing new of you. In a world that shifts this fast, stability is not safety. It is risk quietly delayed until the worst possible moment. Go back to 2020. When the lockdowns hit, people with a single salary watched their income snap overnight. People with one online skill or 1 second stream stayed standing. The shock did not create that gap. It only exposed who had prepared in silence and who had been asleep. Look harder at the money you are proud of saving, parked at around 5% a year, while the real cost of living climbs faster than that. That is not growth. That is value leaking out while you sleep. 100 million today quietly buys less tomorrow, even when the number on the screen never changes. Stay asleep, and you hand your whole fate to Fortuna. The first act of virtue is small. You simply admit that you are asleep. Hear this, because it matters. The asleep are not lazy. Most of them work hard. They show up. They grind. They are genuinely exhausted. What they avoid is one uncomfortable question they have dodged for years. If this income disappeared tomorrow, what would I actually have left? And no, the answer is not to quit and bet everything on one move. For this tier, that advice is poison. Blind risk is worse than sleep. Use the stability as a launch pad, not a grave. Keep the salary as fuel. Then carve 1 hour out of every single day to learn. Tonight, write down your own dangerous question, the one you keep avoiding. Then choose a single skill and begin. Not tomorrow. Not after the weekend. Tonight, while the discomfort is still sharp enough to move you. You do not burn the house down to prove you are brave. You build the exit quietly while the house is still warm. Wake up and you start to climb. But move without thinking, and you fall straight into tier 2. The hamster runs all day at full speed and arrives exactly nowhere. And the cruel part, it feels like progress. Busyness is the legal drug of hard-working people. It hands you the feeling of motion without ever demanding a result. You can hide inside it for 10 years and call it a career. Motion is loud. Progress is quiet. That is exactly why people mistake the first one for the second. You feel busy, so you feel safe. But feeling busy and getting somewhere are not the same thing. Wealth was never about speed. Wealth is a direction. Picture yourself rowing with no compass. You pull hard for hours. Your arms burn. You are proud of the sweat. And if the bow is pointed wrong, every powerful stroke drags you farther from the shore. The rich set the direction of their money first. Only then do they pour in the effort. An employee thinks in hours. An owner thinks in systems. Work pays you once. A system pays you again and again. One is linear. The other compounds. There is one question that separates them every single morning. What am I building today that pays me tomorrow, even while I sleep? Ask yourself something harder. Am I building an asset or genuinely for my own busyness? Most people never dare to answer. Direction first, speed second. Reverse that order, and you will run your whole life and still end up where you began. Look at the Fugger family of Germany. 500 years ago, they grew rich enough to lend money to emperors. Not by selling their own two hands, by building a system of credit and mines that worked without them. They did not trade more hours. They built a machine that traded for them. System leverage beats muscle. Every single time. And here is the trap for this tier. The fix is not to try harder. The hamster has no shortage of effort. They have a shortage of direction. The answer is to cut half the work that leads nowhere, not to stack more work on top. Map it out. Find where the money actually flows in your field. Then, choose one minimum asset, one channel, or one small digital product. There are 3 specific skills that turn your hours into assets. I will name all 3 at tier 3. Hard work in the wrong direction does not rescue you. It just bankrupts you. Faster. Choose your direction, start to build, and you climb again. And that is the exact moment the world starts to get uncomfortable with you. The moment you start to rise, you become a problem. Not to yourself, to everyone who was comfortable with the old you. At this tier, your real weapon is not a certificate on the wall. It is battle-tested skill, the kind that produces results no one can argue with. A degree proves you sat in a room. A skill proves you can deliver. The world only ever pays for the second one. And there is something more dangerous here than failing. It is staying invisible. If no one knows you exist, then the opportunities do not know you exist either. The world does not reward the quietly talented. It rewards the visible and the undeniable. Here are the 3 skills that turn raw hours into real assets. 1. Selling and persuasion. 2. Writing that moves people, copy, email, scripts. 3. Short-form video. Then build one asset on top of them. A single channel or a single digital product. Start with one. Still locked into a full workday? Defend 1 hour of deep work like it is sacred. And give your weekends to the asset, not the screen. Remember the leverage you were handed just by being born now. In the Fugger's time, leverage meant mines and private armies. Today, a phone and an internet connection hand one ordinary person the reach of millions. No generation before you ever held that kind of power. But the moment you grow, you become a threat to the comfortable. The criticism arrives right on schedule. The world does not punish you for being small. It punishes you the second you start to get bigger. Every person who chose comfort will read your effort as a quiet accusation. That is why they push back so hard. They will only ever see the result. They never see the nights that built it. That is the price, and it is not optional. The criticism is not a sign you are failing. It is proof you finally stepped out of the crowd. Silence was the real danger all along. Let me stop you right here, because this part kills people. Just post more, be everywhere, go viral. That is a trap. Visibility, with nothing real behind it, is empty noise. It spikes, and it collapses just as fast. Show up after the skill is real, never instead of it. And this is the loneliest stretch of the entire climb. Most people quit right here. Not because the money ran out, because they could not stand the doubt of the people around them. This is the valley of discouragement. There is no detour around it. You walk straight through, or you stay below forever. When they start mocking you, congratulations. You finally got big enough to be seen. Today, publish the one thing you have been hiding. Then add a single layer of leverage on top of it. Say you survive all of it. The money finally starts to arrive. And that is the most dangerous moment of them all. Making money and keeping money are two completely different games, and most people only discover that after they have already lost. The mistake that wipes out the newly rich is almost always the same. They confuse wealth with status. They chase looking rich instead of staying rich. The expensive watch shows up long before the real assets do. Money behaves like fire. Handled with care, it warms the whole house. Handled carelessly, it burns the house to the ground. The truly wealthy treat every dollar like a soldier sent out into the world to bring back more. And they build a fortress around what they have. Because wealth attracts rivals, opportunists, and sometimes betrayal. A fortune with no walls is not a fortune. It is a target, waiting to be taken. They use real legal structure, clear contracts, hard boundaries. They spread the risk instead of betting it all on one throw. Remember Crassus, once the richest man in all of Rome. He built his fortune on property and a private fire brigade. Then, he gambled the whole thing on a war in Parthia with no protection layer at all. He did not just lose the fortune, he lost his life. Power with no defense is a fatal weakness. And here is the part nobody warns you about. Money does not solve the problems inside you. It magnifies them. The loud man with money grows louder. The anxious one grows more anxious. The number only turns up the volume. That is why some people get everything they wanted and feel emptier than before. They fix the number. They never fix themselves. Real wealth was never the number in the account. It is control over your time, your space, and your choices. Drop the fantasy that rich means total freedom. The bigger the assets, the more chains you need to guard them. Real freedom comes from structure, never from a bigger number. And what actually outlives you is not a balance. It is the system you built and the values you leave behind. A bank account can be drained in a single bad year. A system rebuilds itself. The wise leave behind structure, not just savings. I put this tier in front of you, even though few people ever reach it. Because knowing the destination keeps you from walking the wrong way from the very start. Today, find one gap in your defense. A legal gap, a contract, or your spread of risk. And close it now. Earning is a skill. Keeping is character. Multiplying is a system. 4 tiers, 1 ladder, and one question still waiting for an answer, the one I asked at the very start. Which tier traps 99% of people for an entire life? The hamster. Busy, exhausted, and going absolutely nowhere. That was the loop I opened at the very beginning. And escaping it in 24 hours is not magic. It is 3 honest moves. Stop. Choose one direction. Cut the work that leads nowhere. Then you run the only loop that has ever mattered. Learn. Build. Own. Protect. Multiply. Then repeat. Each turn of that loop lifts you 1 tier higher than before. The climb never ends. It only compounds. And let me be clear about the rule you are actually breaking here. It is the silent lie that you must trade your hours for money until the day you die. This was never about breaking laws. It was never about stepping on anyone to climb. Getting rich asks for neither. Anyone who tells you otherwise is selling you fear. You do not need permission to start. You never did. No one is coming to hand you the first move. There is no perfect moment waiting somewhere ahead. There is only this one. The cage was always unlocked. You only ever had to stand. Comment the number of your tier, 1 to 4, and I will pin the very first move built for that exact tier. The map is in your hands now. The only thing left is the first step. The ladder was always there. The only question is whether you finally decide to climb. This script ends here. Your story begins from the tier you are standing on right now.